You know how I feel about you, right? And maybe deeper than caring, are you listening to what I'm saying to you?
Yes.
What am I saying to you?
No, Riley, no, that's not how this works. You can't profess your love for the first time by making her say how you feel on your behalf. So quit playing these cryptic games, and if that's how you feel, just spit it out. Tell her.
I just said to you, without saying it, that I...
No, don't tell.
Ouch, brutal. Violet just shot him down. Maybe on second thoughts, Riley, it's better just left unsaid. Now, before we dive into all of this ridiculousness, let's rewind back to the start. So, when we left Violet in the last episode, she was in shock. She couldn't believe that Riley had consulted with a private investigator to dig into her past. And while he didn't go through with it, in her eyes, the minute he decided not to trust her to that extent, there was basically no reason to continue this relationship. But with Riley about to leave Vietnam, Violet is now at a loss for what her next step should be.
Như thế nào là đúng, như thế nào là sai. Tự là tôi suy nghĩ rất là nhiều và tôi cũng cảm thấy là không biết để giải quyết nó như thế nào cho nó phù hợp.
It's the night before Riley leaves Vietnam, and the pair have come out for their final outing. It seems like despite their fight, Violet still wants to spend time with him. But make no mistake, she feels incredibly disrespected by this PI news. So Riley decides to confront the issue head on.
I really just want to apologize. I realized that the thing that mattered the most was us being able to communicate properly.
Now, Riley tries to explain to Violet that the reason he considered hiring a private investigator is because he had so many questions. But he tries to convince her, now he knows that that's not the best way to handle things. He now knows that he should ask questions to get answers. Wow, what a radical thought. But this new realisation might be too little too late. The damage is already done. There might be no way to come back from this.
I don't know how I'm feel now. I mean, we have a lot of friends from culture, language.
Look, Violet's not wrong. One of the main reasons for their fights has been the difference in culture. The fact that Riley oversteps and asks things that in her culture he has no right to ask. But that, in addition to his trust issues, has created a lot of hurt for Violet. So the question is it always going to be like this? Is this the type of relationship that either of them want? And more to the point, is Violet even open to continuing this relationship?
You say apologize me, and I just see sincerity, so I just think we try and we will see then.
I'm genuinely surprised by Violet's reaction here. Is she really that forgiving? Especially considering this has all happened so soon after the restaurant fiasco. Like, what's keeping her in this relationship? Is what she has with Riley really that special? I just don't see it.
We owe it to each other. We owe it to ourselves to make a real effort.
Now, this whole flipping each other off thing, instead of saying how they feel, right? Is it just me? Or does it feel like a convenient cover-up? Sure, they pretend that it's coming from a place of affection. But the truth is, Violet and Riley dislike so much about each other that at this point, it just feels like an outlet where both of them can say F you without any repercussions. I mean, what do these two even have in common? What's this relationship built on, other than critique and distrust?
I do believe this relationship is fixable.
And you change your personality a little bit, not lost control and not hot temper.
Violet says that they need more time to build their relationship. But by saying that, she's confirming that there is a relationship to save, that she's willing to try. But I don't get it. Like, I hate to sound as suspicious as Riley, but there's something about how easily she's willing to forgive this whole PI incident that doesn't sit well with me. Does she have an ulterior motive for wanting to stay together? Isn't it funny that the one time Riley doesn't seem skeptical is perhaps the time that he should be?
Time is running out, and I still really want to solidify this relationship. So there's something I want to tell her before I get on that plane tomorrow.
Oh gosh, he's gonna tell her that he loves her, but after dating for nearly 2 years, this will be the first time it's ever been said. So if he feels that way, if he's travelled all this way to be with her in Vietnam, why hasn't Riley said it before? Well, it's because of his weird superstition.
I don't say I love you. I don't ever say I love you. Because whenever I say I love you to a person, they leave.
So the following morning, Violet makes her way over to Riley's hotel. She's unable to go to the airport with him, so this will be their last time together. So that means that this is the last opportunity for Riley to tell her how he feels. Who knows? Maybe to even give her that promise ring that he showed us earlier this season. Has she earned it? Well, within minutes of being in the room, you can tell that something's wrong. Her vibe is completely off.
I just want to make sure that we're committed to talking.
I just say with you, we keep in touch.
Just keeping in touch wasn't what Riley was hoping to hear. It could be another language barrier here, but doesn't Violet seem a little distant? So is she just sad that Riley's leaving Vietnam? Or is something else on her mind? Even Riley has noticed her mood.
Violet seems like she has her walls up. I honestly don't know if that's her way of coping, but what I don't want to do is get back to America and think back and think, what if?
So seeing as Riley knows that Violet isn't really in the mood for this, maybe now isn't the right time after all to unload emotionally. Perhaps he might want to take a rain check. But the thing is, as we've seen time and time again, Riley's never been very good at not putting his own emotions first. He's decided that come what may, now is the time and he is going to do it. So here we go. He sits down with Violet, he looks her in the eyes, and he says,
I really, really, really care about you a lot. I hope that you can see that it may be deeper than caring.
What a disappointment. How anticlimactic. Can I just remind you that Riley is a 48-year-old man. Now's definitely not the time for wordplay and overcomplicating things. There's already a language barrier to contend with. The fact that he's struggling so much to say the L word just makes him seem like a little boy. It makes it feel like he's playing games. It makes the whole thing just not feel genuine.
What you saying?
Violet knows that I don't say the L word to people.
He's so dramatic. The way he's approaching this is as if he's the main character in some love film. There he is, the broken protagonist, battling his inner demons to voice his love. But it's such a load of crap. This isn't Hollywood, Riley. Just say the damn word. Enough with this whole charade of trying to make her read between the lines. Say it or don't. But either way, it's not her fault. It's you that's playing this game.
I just said to you, without saying it, that I...
No, don't tell.
Oh no, that was brutal, and that is a sort of trauma that's gonna set this guy back another 10 years. Just as he was gearing up to say it, she shut him down. And as brutal as it was, you can't really blame her. She doesn't want to hear it, and it's clear she doesn't feel the same. Look, she might have told Riley that she's willing to work on their relationship, she's willing to stay in touch, but clearly she's struggling to overcome the fact that he trusted her so little that he consulted a private investigator to spy on her. It just wasn't the right time for Riley to be saying this for the first time. Their relationship wasn't strong enough. And frankly, for a man that was so hesitant to say it in the first place, Riley should have probably read the room a lot better.
Don't tell.
Why? Just tell me why.
We need time. I just say that.
Okay. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, let's go.
Well, that was awkward, wasn't it? Violet's just not ready to hear those words from Riley, especially when she knows how much they mean to him. She's still acting distant and a little cold. Something feels wrong. Does she regret coming this morning? Is she regretting agreeing to be in this relationship?
Khi nói là với tôi là anh ấy yêu tôi, yêu bằng cái lời. Những điều mà tôi cần anh ấy thay đổi như là phải biết anh ấy cần phải biết tôn trọng cái người phụ nữ.
He's still not the man that Violet wants him to be, and it's hardly a surprise to hear her say that. He has just been acting like a little kid after all. But the real question here is, why is she acting so strange today? What's changed since last night? Deep down, does she know that this is it? She'll never see him again.
Okay. Okay.
It says everything you need to know that Violet can't bring herself to hug Riley even once. It's Riley that's displaying all of the affection. He's the one that's doting on her. Something is seriously wrong. This can't just be because she's sad he's going. There's something weighing heavily on her mind, and Riley has finally picked up on it.
Her not hugging me, her not giving me a kiss goodbye, and especially not allowing me to say the L word.
Riley is clearly hurt by Violet's behaviour, but in classic Riley fashion, he chooses to make it uglier than it needs to be. He chooses to get hung up on the fact that he wasn't allowed to tell her he loves her. I know, it's crazy, right? The man who struggled to express his feelings is now blaming her for not wanting to hear them.
If she's not ready to receive it, or if she's not open to receive the word, it's on her.
Here's the thing. Riley's blaming Violet for not wanting to hear him confess his feelings, when in reality, he should be taking accountability for creating an environment where the words felt meaningless to her. His actions aren't matching the words he's struggling to spit out, so it's better to keep them in. Like, what good is I love yous when the man who's saying it clearly doesn't trust you? It's meaningless. So as they head their separate ways, with Riley off to the airport and Violet off to do whatever she has to do that's more important, Riley is finally forced to confront the reality that maybe this trip might have been a complete failure after all.
My goal for this trip was to get to know her. I didn't get to know her. I didn't get to understand her.
And sure, while Violet's evasiveness and her private nature was definitely a factor in that, Riley also needs to take the blame. He didn't get to know her because he was too busy chasing answers instead of building memories. If only he had taken a step back, got to enjoy his time with her, build a friendship, then who knows, maybe a relationship could have blossomed from there. But because that didn't happen, now Riley is left feeling like he's been embarrassed, which leaves him wondering whether or not this relationship is even worth it.
I think that I definitely need to figure out if I want to fight for this anymore. But right now, I'm just ready to go home.
That's a scary transformation. He's gone from professing or almost professing his love to minutes later questioning whether or not he even wants to fight for this anymore. Perhaps that tells you everything you need to know. Maybe not saying it was for the best.